JimBlurton tools, designed to work, built to last. Ergonomically designed to provide a comfortable feel, making them more efficient and easier to use. Manufactured using top quality tool steel and correctly tempered to provide the ideal hardness for the specific use of each tool, JimBlurton tools are designed to stand up to the everyday wear and tear of a busy farrier's workload. Hand finished to the exacting standards that Jim prides himself on as a world-class farrier. All tools are fully guaranteed to live up to the excellent quality expected of any product that carries JimBlurton's name. The tools have been tried and tested by the world's best farriers. Thanks to JimBlurton's worldwide contacts, it is not only Jim's vast experience that has gone into developing these tools, but also the knowledge of many of his contemporaries. JimBlurton foot tools offer exceptional feel and quality where it counts. For more information on the range of JimBlurton farrier tools, go to www.jimblurton.com or telephone 0044 1938 580 222. Hayden Price introduces JimBlurton's graduated bar shoe with frog support.
The JimBlurton graduated frog support bar shoe provides a graduated heel lift whilst at the same time maintaining good frog support. Before shoeing the horse, it is important to assess the horse's conformation, both statically and dynamically. Following the initial assessment, an individual shoeing plan should then be considered. The full range of JimBlurton bar shoes encompasses a high-quality, bespoke hand-forged shoe, all within the convenience of a ready-made shoe. The JimBlurton graduated frog support bar shoe is an ideal treatment for horses suffering from broken back hoof pastern access, navicular conditions including the suspensory ligament of the navicula and the navicular bursa, dorso-articular ring bone, reverse rotation of the pedal bone, treatment of lesions to ligaments such as the distal impar ligament and the collateral ligaments, along with other various conditions that benefit from a raised heel along with frog support.
JimBlurton will now demonstrate the fitting techniques for his graduated bar shoe with frog support, complete with the soft pad material application. With a shoeing plan in place, Jim begins trimming the foot, paying particular attention to the dorso-palmar balance as well as the mediolateral balance. Jim checks the symmetry of the foot using his rasp as a centre line guide. Jim lightly dresses the foot forward to remove any flares. Again, Jim uses the rasp to check that there is no distortion to the hoof wall. With the foot prepared, Jim chooses the correct size shoe. Without the use of radiographs, Jim uses a few guidelines to maximise the effect of his graduated bar shoe with frog support. The toe of this shoe is fitted slightly under the foot. Jim uses the widest point of the foot as a general guide to indicate the centre of rotation. He aligns this with the shoe and ensures there is approximately 55% of the shoe behind the centre line of rotation. A plumb line is taken down the lower limb through the centre of the fetlock to the ground. This indicates the length required for sufficient support. Looking from the solar surface, a parallel line can also be taken halfway between the widest part of the frog and the bulbs of the heel. This can confirm the support required. Jim takes a good all-over heat and makes any minor adjustments to the shoe. In this case, he has to narrow the shoe slightly. He levels the shoe before setting the clips on. Jim checks the fit of the shoe. He returns to the anvil and makes some minor adjustments to the clip angles. Letting the clips in allows them to sit flush with the hoof wall. Once happy with the fit, Jim safes the shoe off as necessary using the grinder. It is important to clean the frog and the bars thoroughly to prevent dirt and bacteria being trapped beneath the soft pad material. With the foot cleaned and the shoe fitted, Jim nails the shoe on. The pitched nail holes built into the shoes makes nailing on easy and helps maintain a strong hoof capsule. Once the shoe is nailed on, Jim clenches up and finishes the foot to his normal high standard. You can see the improvement of the hoof pastern axes, and the elevation of the heels has reduced the compression of the structures in the palmar region of the foot. Jim advises that whenever there is a cavity between the bar of the shoe and the frog, then this should always be filled with a soft pad material to maximize the benefits of the shoe. It is a good idea to use putty such as Play-Doh to cover the clefts of the frog to prevent seepage of the soft pad material before curing. Jim attaches strong tape to the back of the shoe and foot. He makes a hole in the tape to provide access for the nozzle. He fills the void between the frog and the bar to complete the frog support system. How far forward the foot is filled with the soft pad material will depend on the horse's individual requirements. Jim uses his thumbs to shape the soft pad material under the tape. Once the soft pad material has had time to cure, Jim removes the putty and tape. Horses with collapsed heels generally are predisposed to overdeveloped frogs. The JimBlurton graduated bar shoe with frog support, by virtue of its unique design, not only allows for the correct fitting, but also enables a flexible frog support system by the use of soft pad materials such as VetTech Equipack. For more information on the JimBlurton bar shoe range, go to www.JimBlurton.com. These fitting instructions have been brought to you in conjunction with VetTech Hoof Care products.
Cartridge preparation and storage are important to achieving consistent results with VetTech materials. To load a cartridge in the dispensing gun, press the release lever as shown and pull the plunger mechanism back all the way. Insert the cartridge label up and make sure it sits level in the dispensing gun. Take up the slack in the plunger mechanism. To prepare a cartridge, use sharp nippers to make a clean, level cut on the lines scored into the cartridge nipple. Take a light bite with nippers, rotate 90 degrees, and cut through cleanly. A sharp knife can also be used to cut the cartridge, but it's critical to cut all the way around the scored line before cutting through the nipple. Equalize the cartridge plungers by dispensing a small amount into the bag. Then attach a fresh mixing tip with a quarter turn clockwise. Since the mix tip does not seal the cartridge, do not leave a mix tip attached unless you plan to use the cartridge again on the same horse. With the cartridge still in the gun, leave it under pressure. Do not press the pressure relief lever. Remove the used mix tip and allow material to drip out. Then wipe the cartridge clean and put the cap on. The cap seals the openings and keeps material ready for the next use.
VetTech manufactures advanced hoof care products that provide a multitude of options for farriers, veterinarians, and horse owners. The materials are user-friendly, have no odor, and generate less heat over a shorter period than other materials used in the industry. When used according to directions, VetTech products yield a durable, flexible application that supports and protects the equine foot without inhibiting its normal movement.
Here's a technique for pouring an Equipack pad at the time of shoeing. This is often the best time to pad the foot, since you can make adjustments to the shoe to ensure the life of the pad. We're seating out the shoe here by pounding a bevel along the inside edge. This is normally done by farriers to relieve sole pressure. For our purposes, it provides an undercut for the liquid pad material to flow into and be locked in when set. This also helps stabilize the shoe and keep it from shifting. Here is our finished bevel that will make more room for Equipack. When we put this shoe on the foot, that small gap you see is all we need to lock in our pad. Next, we'll add a piece of Equimesh to give us added retention, and because this has to go on the foot side of the shoe, we're going to notch out areas for the clips. Spray adhesive is a good way to tack down the mesh so you don't have to hold it while nailing the shoe. So there's our prepped shoe, ready to nail on. With the shoe tacked on, our last step before applying Equipack is drying with a heat gun for 40 to 60 seconds. A clean, dry sole is necessary for a lasting application. Hold the foot as level as possible and flow material on as smoothly as you can. It seems to work best if you allow material to pool in front of the tip, then push the flow in the direction you want. Don't worry if you don't get it perfectly smooth. After 30 seconds, spread some dirt on the surface to remove tackiness, and let the horse stand on it to flatten out the imperfections. The result is a great package for anything from riding down the road to climbing rocky trails.